According to my screen here,
Yep.
I need to ask you a very important question. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Is the console dead?
Wow. You do have a habit of targeting the big question of the day. That is such a timely question, and I don't know, but I'm guessing that we're going to investigate that huge concept on today's episode.
So, look, if the console is dead, and that's a big if.
It's a massive if.
What's replacing?
Well, clearly, I think we're talking about the portable gaming market. That would seem to be, from the data, where things are headed. And I think it's because there's a coming together, isn't there, of various key themes. So one is the success for all the major players like Steam, who make the Steam Deck, Sony, Xbox. They're all offering really good, high-performance, cloud-based gaming services.
And is it the fact that they're cloud-based that's making the difference because we've now got a bandwidth that can keep up?
Massively important that you have enough bandwidth with technologies like 5G and obviously Wi-Fi and, gigabit, this, that, and the other, and all the sorts of key ways of transferring data that you need to support something on the go. But also, there's a miniaturization, as you know, that continues, since...
Smaller, lighter, more powerful, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, since Moore, the founder of Intel, predicted it in the 60s, that exponential doubling thing. Well, we've got to the point now where we're so far up the curve that, as you know, you can get incredible performance. I mean, this thing's got an AMD processor in it. And it's
so
got...
Jason's holding up the Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck. It's also got a solid-state hard drive, a really high-performing hard drive. It's got 1 terabyte in it, right? 7-inch screen, all right? This is the LCD version, but there is an OLED version, which is a little bit bigger. I think it's 7.2 inches. This is 7 inches. And that one, if you want to get geeky, is 90 hertz. This is 60 hertz. These are all important innovations. And that's happened almost within a year of the first one coming out, or certainly within 2 years. So the evolution of the hardware is also happening at an exponential rate. And so you've got all these things coming together in a kind of crossroads. And so now we're at a point where the portable gaming console is taking on the big hardware.
So am I right in thinking that at the moment it's pretty much 50-50, but perhaps the bigger console is stagnating a little bit?
I think it is. And there's also this, I mean, this has been going for a while, but there's a lot of rumours about Xbox releasing a handheld console. And I'll tell you why I think that's a thing. In the way that the Vision Pro, which, if you remember, we started this podcast project with a fantastic review, in the same way that was almost predictable because they were doing so much with augmented reality on the iPhone and all that sort of stuff, and the miniaturization of their famous chipset. The same's happening with Xbox, actually, and that they've pushed so much money and resources into their cloud gaming service, Game Pass, that they almost have to do a handheld console, because if they don't, everyone else is going to just mop it up. Like I can access Xbox games on this device. Would you believe? So I can access the Steam games. So there is a cloud dimension to this. I've got most of them on the hard drive actually, because online cloud gaming is still a little bit dodgy. It depends. If you've got full 5G on your let's say your smartphone and you're sat in a cafe, then great.
But if you are on the go, it can be a bit sketchy.
It can. And if you're trying to play at a really competitive level, then that latency is really important. But all of that stuff, it's so funny because all of that stuff will evolve and will be no problem eventually. The bandwidth will be instant, real-time, virtually zero latency, and that's when the handheld market will suddenly overtake consoles. There will be no point in having a big box, a black box like the Xbox, for example, or a PS5, a nice big white tower. There'll be no point. It will just be it will be almost funny to look at. Like my 14-year-old, my youngest child, will look at those devices and laugh at them because they'll just look like old steam engines,
Right, let's have a little chat about this. This is the Nintendo Switch, the market leader in the portable console market. 137 million of these bad boys sold.
Unbelievable.
Let's talk about these a little bit while I play.
Okay, so, so the offering from Nintendo is always that lovely sort of cutesy, it's not always, but in general terms, it's that Japanese gamer market that is just so... so hugely popular with a wide demographic of gamers. So not traditional first-person shooter esports players, but a broader swathe.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can pick this up and just start playing, can't they? Really?
Absolutely, and it's brilliant. And of course, as you know, because we were on the cutting edge of all this. You remember when you blew my mind with the Wii?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jason, it's Suze. Yeah, can you come down to the studio? They want you to come down here immediately.
Gosh.
Oh, no, I don't believe that. I am gobsmacked. It's just beautiful. Look at the controller.
The president of Nintendo had to say it was OK for us to actually have it here.
Wow.
I was going to say, do you
So
remember when you
excited
blew my mind with your Wii? But
Yeah.
that wouldn't have
I think people know
meant something else.
what you're talking about there, because do you remember when I drank
Drank
your
my
Wii?
Wii. Yeah.
That liquid?
Yeah. That's from Jace. All right. This incredible device, in all seriousness, should be able to filter urine. Suzi Perry! What do you think?
It doesn't taste of wheat, but it is still warm.
Yeah.
I actually,
And no one asked you to do that.
well, you say that, but you know when the camera's rolling, and
I thought you came in and you said, "Oh, I'm parched." Suzi!
let me just explain. We were in the desert and we were testing a gadget that was supposed to filter water. So we thought the ultimate way to filter water, see if it worked, would be to wee in a little vial and then filter it. And then
But you thought it was a pie shandy.
I thought, well, if it works, because they told me that it definitely works,
Yeah.
if I drink this now, it will taste like water. But do you know what it tasted like?
Can I guess?
Yes.
Wee.
Asparagus wee.
So the thing is, can I just say, I loved that about you. I love it about you. I'm sure you're the same. Always up for it.
I think there's a name for people that do that, but let's move on.
I think there was a part of the web, of the internet dedicated to that. What were we saying? Oh yeah, the Wii, the Nintendo Wii. So you very generously surprised me with, and people should know that those things where we were surprised on the Gadget Show, people went to great lengths.
Yeah, genuine.
To make it genuine. Blew my mind. Wasn't it like the first in the country? I mean, it was so exclusive.
Yeah, 100%. We were the first people to get it in the UK.
I love it. And it was an absolute revelation. Well,
It's all the sensors, wasn't it, that,
Yeah.
that kind of blew us away to start
absolutely
with.
mind-blowing. What the Switch does is, of course, it uses the, again, we're back to this exponential curve. It uses the latest technology to enable you to do effectively the same thing. And so at the weekend, there was I with my daughter jumping about, playing tennis and volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, no surprise that it's the market leader, because it's so and you can do your Fortnite on it and your first person shooters.
Yeah.
Not the best platform for them, but you can do that.
But you could start out in that sort of realm with that, couldn't you?
It's such a versatile device.
Switch 2?
Of course, rumours abound that they are about to innovate yet again, build on the success of this physical, family-friendly device where you can jump about and dance, and you can play tennis and sword fighting and all the other sorts of Wii Sport type games, which are now Switch Sports, I guess. They've gone through various iterations. When was it first out, the Switch?
2017, I think?
Yeah, 2017. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
7
So
years
yeah, it's about time, isn't it, that they brought out a new piece of hardware, which I'm guessing will be, it'll have a higher resolution screen. It'll have maybe a cloud-based service. I don't know. People that know about Nintendo would be much better suited to predicting this. In fact, give us your predictions in comments. I guess the best way to do it is on X for the Gadget Show's Twitter profile. But yes, Switch 2, where it's going hardware-wise, I don't know. Are they going to move into the VR realm? Is it going to be something you can slot into a helmet? I don't know. And then we've got these phones, these miniature, high-performance computers in the back of our pocket that have graphics processors on them. You can get devices like the Game Sir, I think it's called the X2, and the Backbone, and myriad other devices that clip around your phone and turn it into something a bit like a small Steam Deck.
So basically your phone becomes the screen, and all the buttons you need are all around it.
Yeah.
So it's an extension of your phone, effectively. It's all there in your hands.
And when you've got that, why do you need a hulking great big black Xbox or bright white PS5 tower? So that's why the dominance of the console that we've grown up with. We were the first generation of console owners, you and I. 1979 was the Atari 2600, and it moved up from there. Now we're at the point in our evolution where the console may well not make sense.
What about the PlayStation Portal?
Great question, because that to me points to the variety in this space. So they've done something that's different again. So all of the advertising for PlayStation Portal effectively said you can use this miniature device, which again is like a white, sexy looking version of a Steam Deck or a Switch, if you like. And again, it's different in that you get your best performance within your own home Wi-Fi network, right? But you can be on the bus and you can use your 5G hookup and you can connect to your PlayStation 5 at home, your PS5 at home. But again, it's very unusual. I think it's very niche. It's very much for the hardcore. Unless, of course, They open it up.
Right.
They open it up, which they can always do because it's ultimately a software, it's an update, isn't it?
So the Portal, you don't think it's going to steal the crown of Switch or Steam Deck or the like?
And I don't think it's intended to. It's a bit of a weird one, really. Again, I've got a friend of mine and he's a real PlayStation advocate and he's got one and he loves it. But even he understands it's a very niche product. No, I would say that the likes of Switch, obviously, but more to the point, Steam Deck, because it's more of a PC gaming platform, or Lenovo's Legion Go, that's another that's a sexy piece of hardware, much more powerful than the Steam Deck. And what's the other one by Asus? The ROG Ally, that's another stunning piece of kit. Razer have got one. This is a big market, Susie. There's loads of them. But I wonder, I don't know, I'm just going to jump in because something that's quite sexy to tell you. Steam have, for a long time, Valve have been working on a secret project and they call it Deckard.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Deckard is the character from Blade Runner, isn't he? He's the detective, played by Harrison Ford.
Yeah, lovely.
And we suspect that it's a virtual reality helmet. Effectively a Steam Deck that you wear on your face. So again, here's what I predict. I could be completely wrong, like most of my predictions.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to see is slowdown in the console market. Financially, the financials for the gaming PC handheld market are going to overtake the console. And potentially even gaming PCs, although I've predicted the demise of gaming PCs before, and I'm so wrong about that. And we're going to move through handhelds, and then we're going to come out the other end, and we're going to be wearing them on our face.
Wow. Right, so back to the original question that I asked you with the fanfare. Is the console dead? It's not, is it really?
It's that quote, isn't it? Reports of my death are greatly exaggerated, or whatever the quote is. I think we're at a pivotal point. I don't think we're there yet, and I definitely wouldn't call it because the tech space has a way of confounding predictions. But I'm going to put my head on the block because it's fun and it'll generate comments. Slag me off if you want on our X, which is Gadget Show, or wherever you want to find us. I'm going to say we're starting to see the turn happening. Because the forces of exponential evolution are coming together. The cloud-based services are all the clouds are aligning, let's say that, in every sense of the phrase cloud. And I think we could start to see that. So I'm going to say yes, but that process is starting, that conversion is happening. If you disagree, the beauty of this podcast is we actually want to know.
Actually, let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts. Because I think that the globe, actually talking about the world, I think that plays a big part in where this is going to go.
What, in terms of what's happening in Asia?
There's a third of the market right there.
Yeah.
And the States.
Yeah. No, that is fascinating. Some of the demographics are absolutely amazing. If you told me, as I sat there on my shag pile carpet, in my Jeep, next to my G-Plan and my VHS, and I was playing on my Atari 2600, I was playing...
you know on your VHS, did you have to press down the 2 buttons to record?
Yes!
Yes!
If you told me then...
Yeah.
What we'd be doing now. Not just how the games look, but how we'd be playing them. I mean, you got to admit, that Steam Deck that you just had a fondle with there, that's a beautiful piece of industrial design. And I use fondle on purpose.
Yeah.
It's quite sensual, isn't it? The design of it. And that's not by accident. If you told me that's where we'd be, oh my God, I would have not believed you. So saying that the console could well be on the way out is not as radical as it might seem because so much other crazy stuff has happened.